With America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and we're ready for a very busy week. Mayor, I think you wanted to open up with a very special message.
I did. I wanted to open up with a very, very special message, and that is that, as far as I'm concerned, we are now entering the Christmas season. So every day, and then next week we're going to get really into it more deeply. We're going to remember what we're getting ready for. We're getting ready for the birth of Christ. Okay. So I believe that over the last number of years, and as part of the conspiracy to destroy our country, which was founded on certain very, very basic core principles, like the free exercise of religion, we've destroyed religion, we've destroyed education, we've destroyed free speech, we've taken up all those subjects. So let's make a little positive contribution in one. Let's each day now, as we get closer to Christmas, let's remember the meaning of it. So we're going to do it very, very briefly this week. Next week, I'm going to still be fairly brief on this show, but I'm going to put out and I'm going to ask you to do me a big favor. I'm going to ask you to go look at the smaller, short versions that I'm going to put out about 4 or 5 of them about the prophecy for that day. Because in the days leading up to Christmas, in the ancient orders of Christianity, the hours of the day, as they went through the latter part of Advent, they would concentrate on the passages, particularly in Proverbs and Psalms, and of the predictions of the birth of the Savior and Jesus Christ. So that I want you to get an impression that for thousands of years, this child was being awaited, and so much was put on his shoulders. It wasn't like he just appeared and then people found out what he was, and some believed it, most of the world, some didn't. And then it became a phenomenon that became the largest religion in the history of the world. It was predicted for thousands of years beforehand. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to send you to, I don't know the right name for it, Ted. I'm always bad on these technological names. Like a little 5-minute segment I'd like you to look at in preparation for Christmas, which I'm preparing now, and it'll be out next week. So remember, we're getting ready for Christmas. It's one of the 2 most important days in the Christian calendar, the most important being Easter. But there'd be no Easter without a Christmas. There'd be no Christmas without a Mary and a Joseph and human beings who were willing to do the will of God against all logic. And that's one of the many messages of Christmas, isn't it? So today, another day of confusion and confounding and what is going on with our country, and how is it slipping so far away from where and who we are. Bankman thief. Right. What's his name? Bankman thief.
That's right, Mayor.
Bankman free thief.
Founder,
Bankman free thief.
That's right. FTX founder Sam
Bankman the thief. I get the last name wrong. I'm sorry.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman, take your money.
SBF, as a lot of these 3.
Oh, Sam Bankman-Fried. I know his name. I'm just getting ready for the AKA and the indictment. If they ever write, you see, here's a problem here. It's a problem I didn't have when I was U.S. attorney. Will he be indicted because he donated a lot of money to the Democrat Party? That usually means you can do anything, like, let's say the Bidens can take 31 million from China. Oh, I'll tell you though, the Biden family is getting hit hard here by, did you see the big reduction in the price of those brilliant paintings by Hunter Biden? They were selling for $500,000. If you were in New York this weekend, don't tell anybody. You could have gotten from for $225,000. What a bargain! What a bargain, man! If I had that kind of money, I'd figure it was only it was 500,000 just a few weeks ago. Now you get it for 225,000, and you should see this one. It looked just like a coronavirus. No, it looked like a whole bunch of little coronaviruses all hanging around a tree. Oh, it wasn't? What was it?
That one only went
Oh, you're
for
not
3.5.
supposed to know. Ted, if you're not supposed to know what a painting is, can't you paint anything you want and say it's anything you want it to be?
Is that the idea behind abstract or modern art?
No, I thought it was like beauty and beautiful colors and forms, and this looked like a big slop on paper. Do you think it's
You didn't see
possible?
the brilliance in it? You didn't
Did
see
you did you think this is it's possible? You know, I've seen many pictures of him. I've seen pictures of him vomiting. You think he captured some of those?
Well, I think it may be a good time to
Maybe a good time to take a little break and get ourselves together so we don't all get sick.
Well, I know.
Can I show one? Am I allowed to show one of the pictures on TV?
Ooh, I'd be careful.
You know.
I don't want to discuss. I want to block out forever. Some of the. All right, I'll just say.
You know, they're thinking about the Bidens are thinking about suing the people who put out the hard drive. I put out the hard drive. I mean, I know there are places like Fox and that don't like to tell you that, but it was me. I don't want the Bidens to be confused. I don't think they're confused because I'm the one they wrote to the newspapers demanding that I be kept off television right at the beginning of the campaign. And I was the one they got suspended from the Bar Association and got all their crooked allies to sue me. So I don't think they're confused about where the hard drive came from. I think Fox is. You see, every time you hear a description of the hard drive, it seems like somehow it went from, usually they bring in John McDavis. It went from John McDavis, and then, you know the angel in It's a Wonderful Life? Well, the angel brought it to Miranda Devine. Mm-hmm. I assure you, it couldn't have been me because I'm not an angel. I did not know there was an alternative delivery to her. I thought it only got to her one way, through Bob Costello and me. But the Fox, which criticizes others for rewriting history, likes to rewrite that part of history. So just want you to know, in case they want to sue, I'm the one who turned it over to Miranda Devine. And I am exceedingly proud because I feel like I followed through on the fact that I was the one to first bring out Biden's criminality way back in 2019. Now there was some confusion, Ted. You know, we corrected it online for my friends Hannity and John Solomon. Let's correct it again. So when I did my interview with Newsmax,
yeah.
I pointed out that long before the hard drive came out, we basically had, and just to be fair, we didn't have the whole story. We had half of the story, maybe 2/3. By we, I mean me, passed on to Hannity, and also both separately and together passed on to John Solomon. And that story was passed on in late January and early February 2019. And if you were to go back and get a broadcast of Sean's show back then, which is when I was allowed on Fox, or you would go back and get a broadcast of John Solomon on The Hill, who does not exclude me, you would see that a third to half of the scheme, the crimes, the bribes are laid out. The Ukrainian ones in detail. But somebody in reporting this made it sound like I gave the hard drive to either John or to Sean, and they didn't turn it in. I couldn't have given the hard drive to. I didn't have it. I didn't even know about it until October of 2020. So if you go back and you read it, you'll see I gave them information. And to their credit, and they should receive no criticism for this, to their credit, they were one of the few that followed it up, and they followed it up intensely and patriotically. If everybody had been like them, well, Joe Biden wouldn't be president. Joe Biden would be in the nursing home facility of the Lewisburg Penitentiary, which is where he would belong, because then he wouldn't have trouble as to whether he was in Colombia or he was in Cambodia. he would actually know that he was in Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, Joe. You know, the state you really lost.
Well, Mayor, we want to get back and discuss this breaking news. Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas and is expected to be extradited to the United States. And we have a very special guest this evening, of course, a friend of yours, Lauren Conlin.
Well, hello.
Lauren.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I actually come bearing gifts from Brooklyn, and I wish I could say these are from me. These are not from me. I mean, they kind of are, but these are from the young man that you endorsed for city council, Michael Ragusa.
Of course.
Yes, and the nice men at the Humidor in Bay Ridge.
Well,
So,
okay.
Yes.
And people should know that I am a cigar aficionado. I'm a cigar aficionado.
You are. I mean, these, I don't know if these are good or not.
They are.
Okay,
This is
all right.
Monte Cristo. Now, don't get all upset. Monte Cristo is a Cuban brand. Don't send the Biden State Police after me. Come on. This is the American version of it. I believe this is made right near Casa de Campo.
Oh.
You know Casa de Campo, a beautiful resort.
Yes, overseas.
So right
Yes,
next to Casa de Campo, which happens to be one of my favorite places, is, I am told, but it could be exaggerated, the largest cigar factory in the world.
Really?
And they make Romeo and Juliet and Gloria Cubana, and they make Monte Cristo.
Well, maybe you can help me because I've tried to smoke only one cigar in my entire life and I threw up. So I don't really know why, but it just did not sit well with me. So.
You know, I know a guy who might want to buy that from you and make it a painting.
My vomit? No, I'm just kidding.
Hunter got 25 grand for some vomit the other night.
Wait, ew. Oh my gosh.
No, not 25 grand. 250,000.
But do you feel like the fact that we keep talking about him just makes him like more of a thing than he should be? I feel like we should just forget about this guy and lock him up, you know?
That's the problem. We don't do the last part.
Yeah,
him up.
that's true.
I think that's a good
I
point.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good point? The fact that this is not a Hunter Biden scandal, but it's a Joe Biden scandal.
Mhm.
This is a scandal that hits the president of the United States. So with the focus being on Hunter, it takes away from the fact that what we're really dealing with is a corrupt president of the United States.
Yeah, it's hard.
Correct.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So going back to the breaking news story today, within the last hour or so, and we're probably catching you up, Lauren, who is one of the best entertainment reporters in America.
The whole world.
That's so nice. Thank you.
The whole world.
Thank you.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about, do you have any experience talking with people in this industry? What are people telling you about Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried? How is a guy like this able to be entrusted with literally billions with a B amount of money? I mean, you're an entertainment journalist. You're involved here in New York City.
Yeah.
The city. This is the finance capital of the world. What can you tell us about this situation? Not asking you for.
I'm just catching up on this, so I'm not certain. Can you fill me in with what just happened? Because
I'm arrested by authorities in the Bahamas.
I see this.
So more broadly, though, can you tell us about?
But what is it? What was he? What was he arrested for?
So the Southern District of New York shared we'll bring this up here. He was arrested after the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York shared a sealed indictment with the authorities down in the Bahamas. And of course, this arrest, Mayor, and you have a little experience in this realm. It's the first move by regulators to hold these individuals accountable for what is a multi-billion-dollar implosion of FTX and something that's hitting this entire industry as a whole. And he is expected to be expedited to.
Well, he basically stole. Who's going to know? We're not going to know until we're finished. Certainly north of 12 billion.
Right.
And so a lot of people thinking they were getting this digital currency or whatever he called it. Really, we're getting nothing.
My husband was one of those people.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't
it wasn't
know much.
A lot.
No, it wasn't. But I don't know much about crypto. I don't know much about Bitcoin.
Good. That's right. Don't buy it.
I really don't. No, I really don't.
This is happening live. This is happening. It's something we're following in real time. Can you, with your experience, talk about the
Here are 3 rules to follow until we find out more.
Mm.
Okay.
Don't buy cryptocurrency because you don't understand it. Number 1.
Christmas in New York.
Number two, don't buy from anyone who donates that much money to Democrats. They're probably crooks. And number 3, he was the second biggest donor to Joe Biden, who's the biggest crook to ever be in the White House. That alone would say to me, gee, he must like crooked people.
Mm.
And number 3, is that really a name? Bankman-Fried? Is that a name?
That is
very
his name. Yeah, that's his
So
name. So
anybody who names himself after a bank, I don't know what I would do with it. But if I'm going to also tell you another thing. Having tried numerous cases, I make a lot of decisions based on looking at guys. I look at this guy's eyes and I say, whack job. I'm sorry. If you don't see whack job here, you don't see you don't have good judgment about
But
people.
he's a kid, though. He's literally a child. He's 30 years old. I consider that a child, right? I mean, sorry, Ted. I don't know how old you are, but I feel like it's very young, and I don't think you don't have the
That's
experience.
older. That's older than Thomas Jefferson when he wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Okay, but only you know these facts.
So I
Okay,
think
only you know stuff.
I
like
think
this.
if he is a child, there's a good place for him to spend the rest of his life in a federal prison.
Someone empowered him, right?
And
Yeah.
he could maybe he could be next to the one that Joe Biden is in, where they have the nursing home, and he can help Joe in the morning.
he can change his diapers.
Yeah,
Can't
things
allow
like
him to
that.
Epstein himself in prison. That's
Yeah.
my concern.
Well, Epstein didn't kill himself, but that's for another day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We
This
can't
man
let
hurt.
Epstein
This
himself.
man hurt more little people than Epstein, and he's getting away with it because he's a big Democrat donor, and he's involved with a lot of Democrats. And the minute you're involved with Democrats, you get away with murder.
So can you
But let's talk about Christmas. This is
Oh, yes.
we want to
Mhm.
talk about. I'm getting into the Christmas spirit. Is there
Yeah.
any way before the show is over we can use your technological genius and show our beautiful Christmas tree that I'm looking at
It
now?
looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's so
absolutely.
pretty.
Yeah, yes,
It
yes.
isn't quite Rockefeller Center.
It's so pretty.
Then again, I don't have a bunch of crazy people running around.
So
it.
do you remember last Christmas? This is just a random fun fact, fun story, but last Christmas, our mutual friend, Frank Morano, had a baby, and one of our other friends, Todd Shapiro, had this cigar night. I think, where is it? The Carnegie Club. So there's all of us, I'm not smoking cigars, but I'm just socializing and having a good time. Well, the next day, I think that was like it was the super spreader event, right?
Yeah, it was
We
like
had the
about 5
flu.
days. No, it was about 5 days before Christmas.
Yes.
And I got very sick. Maria got
I
very
got
sick,
very sick.
but I didn't get COVID.
You had the flu.
I had the flu. I was sure it was COVID.
No, you had the flu. I
know
remember.
I had the flu.
All of us got COVID. Some people got the flu. It was the craziest super spreader event at
I got
Carnegie
two,
Club.
and I got 2 versions of it. I got version number. I got it first. Maria got it second. I got it third. Maria got it fourth. Then lots of other people we knew got it.
Yeah.
But a lot of them got, the new. What was that new COVID then?
Omicron or
Not dangerous. Not the dangerous.
No,
COVID.
it was fine. It was fine. But that just kicked off, I feel like, for me, Christmas in New York, because that's just one example. The Carnegie Club is a great spot to get you in the holiday spirit. It really is, right? If you would like me to continue with
Tell people,
yes.
a lot of people, Ted, give Lauren a little taste of who we have on the line. And by the way, these slippers are here for Christmas morning. These are my
These are cool.
pillow slippers.
Oh, they're soft.
Yeah, nice and soft.
Nice.
Look,
Yeah. Super nice.
my pillow.
Oh, where? Over here. Yeah, there we go.
Here you go.
Yeah, they seem really soft.
MyPillow.com/Rudy. Get nice price. Get a whole bunch of them. This one you can wear out. Look, it's nice thick.
Maybe
could
to get
chase
the mail or something.
You could chase the kids outside.
I don't know about that, but
This
yeah.
this one here would be more for inside. But there are about 30 versions of this. I just put the 2 out that I like.
No, those are nice. Maybe I'll get
Maria-
some for my husband.
Are these ladies? These here or are these men? These are the ladies ones. Yeah.
These are definitely men.
They're both men.
Mhm,
Oh,
yeah.
both men.
Yes, definitely men.
Oh yeah.
So going back just to Christmas in New York, there's a few things that I wanted to point out to people if you're coming to visit here that you can do that are maybe not necessarily on your radar. So, of course, there's the Rockettes. There's the Christmas tree at Rockefeller. There's ice skating in Central Park. There's ice skating in Bryant Park. But there's a few things to me that are hidden. So number one is something called Peter and the Wolf at the Guggenheim. Now, this is a great 30-minute show. It's only 30 minutes. You can take kids 5 and up to. Isaac Mizrahi, the designer, is actually
Peter
the
and
narrator.
Peter and the Wolf.
It's like a dance show, but it's fun. It's
Wow.
30 minutes. Anybody can handle it, right? And it's at the
Wow.
Guggenheim. So you can go to the museum after.
I love Peter and the Wolf.
It's great. It's really great. So you can get tickets online now. Something else that I like to do, and my daughter and I are doing it right now, is we're going on a search for the best hot chocolate in the city. So
Take Ted.
Ted,
Take Ted with you. He loves hot chocolate.
well, I like spiked hot chocolate. That's more of my thing. But no, my daughter has
Spice or spiked?
spiked.
Yeah, spiked.
Spiked.
Boom, boom.
Yes, a little bourbon in there. But no, my daughter has really disappointed me because she told me after getting this amazing hot chocolate, pretty much at Jacques in the city, at Serendipity, I said, well, what's your favorite so far? And you know what she said? McDonald's. So yeah, womp womp. I know. It's because they dump an entire thing of sugar in there.
Unrelated, but McDonald's Coca-Cola
Delicious.
tastes particularly delicious. Not sure if
No, I agree. Like movie theater Coke.
yeah,
It's so good.
Something about I don't know if it's a combination of what you're eating, but back
Yes.
to Christmas in New York.
Yes.
This is my first time spending this much time.
So
in
you've
New
been.
York this
So
season.
I've taken you. I've taken you
Aw.
around. Maria has taken you around. So what do you? What you haven't seen everything yet? We still have to go to the Neapolitan Christmas tree at the Metropolitan Museum.
Mm.
I got to take you there. But you've seen Rock Center, and you've seen the
The Saks windows. Those are amazing.
Saks
Yeah,
windows,
Bergdorf Goodman windows, great.
Mhm.
the Macy's windows.
Yeah. Oh, well, I would stay away from Macy's. I would tell all parents they have the Santa Land at Macy's, which is incredible for kids. But in my experience, if you're not into waiting in line, it was like a 6-hour line at one point. And I
6 hour
and I had like a 2-year-old at the time, and I was like, this is not
you
okay.
can't do that.
And then your kid is free. It is like
take him out of line at that point.
I just would not suggest doing that. I
That's good
also
advice. That's
it is-
good advice.
that's what I was
How
told.
about
for.
we
Wow.
back this up?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah.
We have a lot of viewers from across the country here.
Mhm.
Let's say they want to take their family to New York City for a few days, during the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Maybe it's and you can tell us if you think a week before the best time to do it.
Mhm.
But give like my family. Let's say we were going to come out.
Yeah.
Stay in the city. What are some things to do
Yeah, well,
outside of what we could easily Google?
Yeah,
Right? So,
sure.
what would
but
you
you know,
do?
I would. If you've never been to the city before, it's kind of silly not to do the things you could easily Google, because those are the big things you want to see.
Well, those are the big
Like,
things.
if you had- I mean, like,
Mhm.
so what are you going to do? You're going to go downtown to look at a little Neapolitan Christmas tree when you could look at Rockefeller Center.
Right.
You can go out to Queens and you can see a nice house that's all decorated, just like in Ohio. But instead, you could go look at the skaters at the Woolman Rink. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are. It depends on how much of a visitor are you. If you're a first-time visitor, please go see the big things.
Okay, with a family, right?
Yeah, go with-
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's important. I think it's important too. And this sounds really obvious, but it's true. It's important to wear comfortable shoes, only because right now I've experienced the worst traffic. The issues. I've experienced the worst traffic in my life in New York City around the holidays, and especially around the areas like Rockefeller Center. But no, go see the tree. Go see the Rockettes. Something that I like to do with my family is actually drive to Diker Heights in Brooklyn.
Oh, nice.
Which is about 40 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. But they have this amazing light show in the neighborhood, and they have hot chocolate
Now,
and
there's a
popcorn.
nice-
Where is this?
Diker Heights in Brooklyn.
Diker Heights in
So
Brooklyn.
you can
Yes.
rent a car and drive there. You can get an Uber or a Lyft or a car or a
Well,
taxi.
and yeah, because you can get out and walk on like a mild night. You get a hot chocolate, you walk, and then something that my husband and kids and I like to do is stop either before or after. It's kind of on the way is at L&B Simone Gardens because I love the thick pizza with like the layers. Have you had it? It's so good. It's so good.
I have not.
You should try it. You never had L&B's?
No,
Oh, gosh.
she really has. He has these good spots. You're going a little.
I am going far. I'm
you're
going a little far.
fast.
Mhm.
Is there any way we could put this down like on on a website
So
on my
people can
website.
see. Yeah.
And we could
yeah,
put- we could give a
Now's
couple-
good time to talk about our website.
Maybe we could put a couple of recommendations from Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren's recommendations.
Well, for two reasons. First, she'll get credit. First, she'll get credit from it. If they don't like it, then they'll write to her.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, yeah. We'll test this out with her.
I'll take
See
it.
how
I'll take
goes,
it.
and then-
I'm a hothead. Be careful what you say to me. I'm like, my husband's was like, take a day and think about what you want to reply. I'm like, good point. No, and the last thing that's playing right now on Broadway, which I thought was incredible, is A Christmas Carol Live. It's starring Jefferson Mays. And
Ooh, I want to go see that.
He
I love
is,
Christmas
he's
Carol.
a lovely man. You should
I've
absolutely
seen
go see
every
it.
version of Christmas Carol.
You'd love this.
One of my first performances.
What's your favorite?
One of my first performances when I was in the 6th or 7th grade at St. Anne's Grammar School was we did sort of a, our own version of Christmas Carol. So to make it easier, we introduced a narrator. I was the narrator. I was like Dickens. I played Dickens.
I love that.
So I sat like in a chair. I made myself at 8 years old look like an old man. I had the book and I sort of, described the characters. Here's Cratchit and here's Mrs. Cratchit. And they have a little boy and the poor little boy's very sick. And here's Mr. Scrooge.
Tiny Tim.
Here's
Tiny
Mr.
Tim.
Scrooge, which is the part I really wanted to play. And my best friend got the part and I was very jealous.
Well, it's funny you
And
say
I would have
that.
done a better job acting that because I'm a good actor.
Well, then why do you think
But
you didn't
only
get the
I think
part?
so.
Why do you think you didn't get it?
Because he was probably better.
Well, there you go. No, I actually played
I tried to use my English accent and it didn't
in
work.
4th grade. I played the Ghost of Christmas Past, so I got to wear a beautiful crown, and it was really cool. So,
But that's a Ghost of Christmas Past.
yeah,
Yeah,
See-
that's actually the most festive of the ghosts because you kind of embody all the happy Christmases in the past.
and you only have one scene, but you're considered a lead, so you have like the easiest part, but you get your name in lights.
No,
which is
Christmas
kind of
Past is-
nice.
It's the lead because it's really the one that sets the whole idea that he goes back and he sees what his life was like and
Yes,
the things that
exactly.
I think the other part I'd like to play Christmas Future with the hand,
Oh, that's
the big long hand
yes.
and the black thing.
He's like the
But
depth,
very-
the darkness, like
In
yeah.
some
Mhm.
versions, he doesn't even have a speaking part.
Yes, I know. Oh my gosh, like the Mickey Mouse version. He doesn't
Okay.
even talk. I always thought Jacob Marley would be a cool role. But just to close out the Christmas in New York, I jotted a couple other things
So
down.
this Christmas Carol thing, though,
Yes.
she got a hell of an idea. That's a good one.
No, it is good. And if you go to my Instagram or my TikTok, I did have an interview with Jefferson Mays on opening night of A Christmas Carol. And he was
Ooh.
lovely. We talked about, I asked him like what his Christmas traditions are. And he actually cried. He said, A Christmas Carol is my tradition. My late parents, who both passed away, used to read me the story. And he said he does line readings like from his dad, the way his dad used to do it, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, that reading. I did that reading Christmas Carol can be really, really sad. Well, of course, Dickens' writing is just.
He's amazing. Yes, he's amazing.
And then you wonder when you read it after having seen all the versions, you say to yourself, why did they bastardize him? I mean, the guy you can't outdo Dick. What are you trying to outdo Dickens for?
Yeah.
The language is.
I agree.
And accessible. It's not like, oh, you got to make it more modern and you got to make it. It's very accessible. He wrote for newspapers.
Yeah. Now,
He wrote for newspapers.
Well, I was going to say, arguably, really quick, in Christmas Carol, what would you say the most famous line is in A Christmas Carol? And people can answer live. What do you think the most famous line is? Because this is what I always think of.
Bah humbug.
Okay, that's obviously that's pretty obvious. But I was thinking of something else. But what does everybody else think? Maria, what do you think the most famous line is? And if I say it, you're gonna know what it is, but you're not gonna think of it. I promise.
Sorry, I was reading.
What's the most famous line?
Okay, what I was gonna say is at the end when Scrooge is happy and he peeks his head out the window and he says, "Boy, what day is today?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Today? It's Christmas day." You know what I'm talking about?
And then if it's
Yes.
Alastair Sims' version, he jumps all around in his nightdress.
Yes.
Doing like
yes.
a most absurd dance, but very,
Yes.
very happy
But
dance.
it's so memorable. Isn't it so memorable? The little turkey boy saying, "Today,
Ah,
it's Christmas day."
but in some versions, they have him buying a goose.
Yes.
It's not
yes.
always a turkey. And now I
Yes.
got to go back to Dickens and see turkey or goose.
Yeah. And he brings it to Bob
Which is
Cratchit's house.
Which is the original one? Is it turkey or goose? Why don't you look it up and let us see if one of these people here that are calling in. I don't remember the true Dickens version. If he gives the boy 3 pence or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 10 pence.
Yes.
10 pence. Oh my God, the boy goes crazy.
Exactly.
So see if it's a turkey or a goose that they go and buy.
Yeah, I don't even know. But just going back to New York City, one last place I'll say that people love to go is Rolf's on 24th Street, which is the German spot with all the Christmas lights. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's pretty hectic there. So
tell us what it is.
well, it's a restaurant. It's a famous German restaurant, where you can get schnitzel, beer, whatever you want to get. But it looks so cool. If you look it up, you will see online all the lights on the ceiling, all the lights all over the restaurant. It's very beautiful. And it definitely gets you into the Christmas spirit.
The name of it is?
Rolf's.
And it's?
24th and 3rd, I think it is.
24th and 3rd?
Yeah.
In Manhattan.
I believe so. Yes, in Manhattan. So that's local. That one, I'm not going to take you to Dyker Heights for anything else.
No, they should go to Dyker Heights if they want.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Dyker.
It's a nice part of the city.
Brooklyn's amazing.
And with the car services now.
Yes.
To answer your question, it was a goose. We're getting answers in our live chat from our hundreds of
I would have thought English it would have been a goose. Yeah.
As big as the boy.
Oh, yes. Remember? As big as Tiny Tim. That's right. That's right.
Well, so another question now.
Let us know in the comments what your favorite line of the movie was. Sorry, Mayor.
I said bah humbug.
Yeah. And I'm asking our viewers, we have hundreds of people live with us.
Oh, yeah. What do they say? Say?
Guys, let us know your favorite line. I would like to know.
God bless us one and all.
Oh, yes. God bless us everyone. That's a good one.
Yeah. What made the original Christmas Carol? Why has this book survived the passage of time? Why this one? I'm sure there's a lot of art and literature that's been done on Christmas. What made the Christmas Carol?
It is given credit in a book written a couple of years ago for reviving Christmas, first in England and then in the West. Christmas had been fading as a holiday. And the Puritans, who replaced the Pilgrims as the second great group that came over to America, were extremely anti-Christmas. So Christmas was illegal in New England for about 100 years.
Wow.
They did not practice Christmas except illegally and surreptitiously in the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
It was considered to be too Catholic, too upper church England.
Right. This is why I like hanging out with him. I learned something new.
It wasn't now, for example, the Pilgrims were part of the Protestant movement, but not that extreme. Right. So they embraced the first group that came over, embraced it. And a lot of the unfairness given to our Pilgrims, bad relations with the Native Americans, not true. The Pilgrims and the Native Americans had wonderful relationship. They had a peace treaty they signed the first year, never broke it, went on for about 30 years until the Puritans came. And when the Puritans came, they're the judgmental ones who started Salem, Massachusetts, and they got rid of Christmas, and they started thinking that Native Americans were savages, and that's where the problem started.
Yeah,
it wasn't the first group. So if you feel guilty celebrating Thanksgiving, confine your celebration to the Pilgrims, and you got some wonderful people there.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I would say it's pretty much the only Christmas novel / movie / play that we have. Now things have come out like The Grinch or what,
it is, but I'm sure there's been other writings and things that have been written.
Sure, but we don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know
So
about that.
What makes that so special, which we're answering, and it's been very insightful. But it's interesting, right? Why how this in this whole
Well, if
world.
you think about it, the other great Christmas movie that we're not thinking about,
Die Hard?
No, the theme, the theme is not so different, is it, than Dickens? It's A Wonderful Life.
Okay.
With James Stewart. Now, what happens to James Stewart? He's taken back by the angel, not three. He's taken back by the angel at a time of Great Depression because he thinks he's going bankrupt. He's taken back to see what life would be like without him. Right. And then he finds out that he was a significant person, even though he didn't think he was. And it saves his life and saves his town and saves his marriage. And So there's a similarity to that because Scrooge gets to see the terrible things he'd been doing in his life.
Yes.
And reforms.
And I am a sucker for those flashbacks in movies. I
And
don't know
both of
about you.
And both of them have angels of one sort or another because those apparitions for Scrooge are angels, people from the death, and of course the wonderful angel in. I mean, everybody wants to have an angel like George Bailey has. I'd love to have an angel like that.
Yeah.
The one who says, whenever a bell rings, somebody's just been made an angel.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that.
Forgot about that,
Oh my
right?
gosh. Wow.
What a great angel that I've been looking for this guy for years. This angel guy. I have.
What?
Yeah, they don't have angels like this in Brooklyn. I swear to God, this guy, and if this angel showed up in Brooklyn, I'd have to protect him because a lot of guys would make fun of him. They would.
Oh, yeah, those Brooklyn guys,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, and with the crime going on in the city, they probably one of these people that brags lets free probably bang him in the head with a baseball.
Someone in the comments says,
Oh my gosh.
Curtis.
Curtis.
It's
Leland?
Curtis.
Curtis what?
That's funny.
Curtis is the angel.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Well,
man, I'll take Curtis. I'm going to talk to Curtis tomorrow. I see him every day. I'm going to say to Curtis, have you ever been mistaken for the angel in It's a Wonderful Life?
oh, and speaking of Brooklyn, Rocco's Pastry. It's a very famous pastry shop. You know it. Rocco's was actually one of the few places that stood up to de Blasio and said, we're not going to check for vaccine cards. I don't know if you remember that. The big bakery.
Is it true that they were several of them were hung in the bag of it?
You're silly, okay? Yeah. So Rocco's is a shop, but my candidate Mike, because I also do a little bit of PR on the side. So he has there's an orphanage, I think it's called Mercy First. We're doing a toy drive there at Rocco's and at Luliano's. And they're both in Bay Ridge. So if you want to get an amazing pastry from Rocco's, drop your toys there.
When is it? Can you see the little children? Can you see the children?
So we're gonna bring the toys to Mercy First. I think on the 23rd. So we might be able to, but if you were also looking for a good charity to donate to around the holiday season, I have two that I'm really fond of. Obviously, Pal is one of my favorites.
Pal does a wonderful job.
Well, my favorite Pal is I'm from New Hampshire, so I'm yes, Maria. I'm a big fan of the Manchester, New Hampshire Pal. My husband and I are very involved with that place, and I love what they've done for the kids there. The gyms they set up. That my mom helps out with cooking classes. It's fantastic. And now I also like the Salvation Army's Angel Tree. I'm very big on that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You are?
Yes, of course. So I'm Lauren Conlon. I have a podcast called Lauren Interviews. I focus mainly on entertainment and celebrities, but I also do a bit of true crime on that as well. I'm very, very into that. I write for Static Media, mainly Nicki Swift Celeb. And right now I'm working on a tribute to Chris Farley, who it's actually the 25th anniversary of his death on the 18th.
Who played Andrew?
Oh my gosh, I just forgot about that. That was
played my son Andrew. Andrew loves him.
Andrew, he was the best. He was the best as Andrew.
Andrew loves him. Everybody teases Andrew about him
because that was
making
the best thing
fun
ever.
of me, and Andrew loves it. You can't get Andrew at all on that one. In fact, when he was running for governor, he said, the reason I'm running for governor is because I want to see if my father can pull off something like that during my inauguration.
So Kevin Nealon played you, I remember. And Andrew, Chris Farley was like jumping up at the podium. That was the funniest thing ever. That was so funny. Oh my gosh.
You got to watch.
Yes.
If you want to have fun. If you want to have
fun,
you
got to pull up a clip. Can you pull this up? Like it's so good.
It's the best of. It's on the best of Jim Farley, Chris Farley.
So good.
And I have also, of course, the original. And you play them next to each other. It's hilarious.
Oh,
And he gets like little things absolutely right.
he does. I mean,
Yeah,
that's coming from the mayor himself.
He gets little
things
things
so right. That's how talented Chris Farley was.
Yeah.
He never met Andrew, but he just gets it right.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just got it right. But yeah, it's actually the 25th anniversary of his death coming up on the 18th. So I'm writing a tribute to him on NikkiSwift.com.
sad.
I know, it's so sad. And he, just going through all this research with him, and his last few days were incredibly sad, and I'll get to it, but it unfortunately was a 3-day drug bender that really did him in. So I do that. I have a very big following on TikTok where I do lots of entertainment celebrity conspiracies, which are very fun for me. And yeah, I contribute on a few news stations as well. So I'm pretty much just everywhere, or I try to be.
So if you have questions for Lauren, let us know. I know just a few minutes to go here tonight, but if you have questions you want to
Boy, it's going fast.
Because we're having so much fun.
Yeah, it's going fast.
I know.
On the internet, right?
Mhm.
Really
is.
is.
Are on the internet, so we are moving right along. You can visit RudyGiulianiCS.com. That's RudyGiulianiCS.com. And what does the CS stand for?
Common sense.
And of course, you can catch
Love
him
it.
there on WABC Radio, 3 to 4 p.m. at WABCRadio.com. And on the weekends, 10 a.m. on Sundays, Uncovering the Truth with the incredible Dr. Maria.
We love Dr. Maria.
Dr.
So
Maria!
much. And I can tell you guys actually what I covered on Fox this past Saturday, which I found very interesting because there's so many different opinions on it now, is the Casey Anthony documentary on Peacock. So this documentary is 3 parts. And I discussed this where I said, after watching each episode, my mind was completely blown because my opinion changed a lot. Now, she is guilty as is long. Don't get me wrong here. But she even admits lie. So I think her dad was involved. I think her dad was 100% involved. I do. Yep.
Wow.
And I think her mom knew about it too.
So is this after watching this new documentary?
Yes.
It's a big
With
stretch.
That documentary coming out did that also spur additional stuff or information?
100%. I mean, people, it's crazy. Some people are going online, and it's mainly TikTok where people are getting crazy hate. Now, they're someone like Rosie O'Donnell. I'm not like a fan or anything. I think she's innocent.
Who said that?
Rosie O'Donnell said.
Or is it say things like
She
it has earmarks of Russian conspiracy, except they don't give you one earmark.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
She had no.
That's the sign. My prosecutorial experience would tell me that's
Did she
the
participate
sign
in
of a
this
big
latest
liar.
documentary?
Yes, that's the whole thing. She wanted to tell her story. And so I'm like, I don't want to give her the time of day, right? She is. Well, so she supposedly did not. Are ways for you to get paid. You can get paid for appearances, whatever. Now, Nancy Grace refused to be in the documentary. Nancy Grace, Anthony, her name, she calls her Tot Mom, which kills me. I think it's hilarious. I love Nancy Grace. She won't even call her Casey. She's like, Tot Mom this, Tot Mom that. She is absolutely trying to rectify her name, reputation, and it's not going to work. But
Nancy Grace thinks she's innocent?
No. She's saying she's so guilty, I will not be a part of this.
Oh, good.
And
good.
I personally thought Nancy Grace is so compelling to listen to that she should have been a part of it to just sort of even it out. Because this whole thing has people saying that, they think Casey's innocent. That's the whole point of the documentary. I would watch it. I would take the time to watch it. It's interesting. It's sad, but interesting.
Well, I think the Christmas season is going to be very interesting, even politically, because the country is going to go through a tremendous transition afterwards. We're going to have a Republican House. We're going to have to see how Biden reacts to that.
Mm-hmm.
First question will be, and I think this is a rather important one, and I bring this up very seriously, will he know and remember that he has a Republican House? That will be, and second, once it's told him, will he understand what that means?
Someone will tell him, don't worry. Yeah. Someone will tell him.
And,
I mean, I'm more worried for New York.
Have they told him that the Democrat Party is no longer the party of slavery, that they broke with slavery around the time that he gave the eulogy for the Ku Klux Klan members.
No one told him.
No one told him that.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
no.
I keep wondering how much he knows. When is someone in that government going to have the guts to stand up and be an American and say the president of the United States is incapable of carrying out the duties of the office of president of the United States, and people are getting killed as a result of that?
So just when do you think?
Have they sold their soul that much?
No.
I think they have.
You
I
think they have?
I think they sold their
I don't
soul.
know.
I don't think they have the courage to stand up and say it.
I don't know. I think we're going to be surprised that some people are going to step forward. I think in January or the new year. But I was going to ask you, when do you think Ron DeSantis is going to announce that he is running in 2024?
Oh, question is, he's not going to announce early. That's for sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it probably depends on what the state of politics is 6 or 8 months from now. Donald Trump is the most difficult political figure to handicap than anyone in the world, because when you count him out, that's the worst thing you can do. When you count him out, he comes back. He's almost like a cat with 9 lives, and I count he's used up about 3 or 4 by now.
Yeah.
That's a lot to go.
I agree.
There's a lot to go. And he's got a talent that, despite whatever anger is at him, he's got a talent that none of them can perform like him. I mean, I like Ron DeSantis a great deal. Think he's been a good governor. I do know, having been a mayor, that being a good governor is not a guarantee you'll be a good president. It's not a bad, it's a good thing. It's a plus, but it's a hell of a leap from governor to president. Great governors have turned out to be terrible. Great governors have turned out to be terrific. And mediocre governors have turned out to be good. I mean, it's a different office.
Yeah.
So Trump is tried and true. He's done it. When he left the world, it was safe. When he left the world, Putin was still sitting in Russia, and all those hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians weren't dead. I think it's a heck of a thing, and it's probably good for Biden that he doesn't have a rational mind, because it would be really, really hard to live with the fact that you got so many Ukrainians killed. I mean, there's nobody in the world that believes that if Trump had been president, that there would have been an invasion, which means, real simple, if you had the logical ability to do it, that his presidency is the proximate cause of the death of all those people.
I agree with you.
That's a lot of people to die.
I agree with you. And this is interesting, because you are opening my eyes a little bit into what you said. Just because you're a good governor does not mean you're going to make a good president, right? But on the other hand,
it's a good sign. And is it better that he was a good governor than Joe Biden gave us every indication as a senator he'd be a terrible president?
Right.
I mean, he served in the cabinet. His fellow cabinet officer Gates tried to warn us and say he never made a correct decision in his entire life.
Yeah.
On foreign policy.
No, but
that's about as close as you can get to saying, don't be stupid enough to make him president.
Right. Well, but then again, no one knew how Trump was going to be, because he had no political experience at all.
It's always a gamble when you put somebody there. Always a gamble.
But do you think, and hear me out, because this is going to be an unpopular opinion, the reason I am more leaning towards DeSantis here is because I think that he doesn't divide the country as much as Trump divides the country. And no matter what, whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, I mean, you have to admit, he does make the country so divided in the most hateful way. People turn on each other and they hate each other. And that has been so upsetting to me since 2016. It's been 8 years of 6 years of just pure hatred. And if he gets, I don't know.
Question on that.
Yeah.
Is that fair to put that on him? Or is it how the media and the Democrats cover him?
You're right.
No.
But it's not going to stop, right? Like, maybe it's not him, but it's not going to stop, because the media is, and I'm media, I hate to say it, but it's like the media lies. I mean, I witnessed it. And
so do we give in and go with someone else because this fight's tough? That's the question, right?
Isn't the question really, is the country divided? And if it is divided, should we pretend that it's not? So we have Biden playing a false game. I will unite the country as long as you do exactly what I want.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Because if you don't, I will take away. I'll take away your children.
Yes.
You better wear masks because I say you have to wear masks.
Right.
And you better take vaccines that really haven't been checked out the way other vaccines have been checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you better get vaccines, even though we don't put on television any of the side effects of the vaccines when we put side effects of every other medicine on television.
Mm-hmm.
So the real problem is there are underlying reasons for our being disunited. If those aren't solved, nobody will be a good president.
Right.
If we continue to have a double standard and the president's crooked son and the crooked president get away with taking $30 million from China and people go to jail for stealing, 20 cents, we're not going to have a united country.
And I want to point out among our comment section, there's a very lively, healthy debate going on.
Right.
Based on what Lauren.
Trust me, I know I'm going to get hate. I know I'm getting hate.
You're getting people that are also agreeing with you. So it's definitely a conversation people are having. And so,
but you're right. It's the media that's going to, and also let's be honest. Joe Biden's speech, I mean, the one where the lights were like Nazi lights coming down. I mean, it was really messed up. If that is not divisive, I don't know what is. So, I mean, you're 100% right, and you're 100% right. But that was just me genuinely asking a question.
It's a legitimate.
We love everyone's input.
And by the way, Laura, it's a legitimate question that many people ask and that many people feel. The problem is the country is actually disunited. It is not united. The country is deeply torn, and politicians who pretend that it's not are not doing us any favor.
I agree. I totally agree.
You've got to confront it.
Jet says she's beautiful and she's right.
Good.
Dave says Rudy knows that we know. Frank Carone says I love Trump.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of comments, a lot of people, even suggesting a Trump DeSantis ticket. So a number of things out there on that. We're running low on time. We want to do some shout outs. So once again, let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from. Mayor, of course, tonight's big news. Lauren, Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas.
I was at dinner. I didn't even know about this.
To the United States.
God.
And we want to know, Mayor, you've probably dealt with plenty of extraditions in your career. How does that work?
He goes to court.
Call who and how is this going to happen?
So he'll go to court. He'll go to court in the Bahamas, which is under English law. He'll have a barrister. I think in the Bahamas they still wear the wigs and the whole 9 yards.
They do?
Yeah. We have an extradition treaty with them. Bankman-Fried would most likely waive extradition. And all it's going to be is, a week of fighting and he's going to lose. It's a friendly country. There's every reason to extradite him. There's more than probable cause to believe he committed a crime, which there wasn't, by the way, in my apartment, which is why they gave me everything back. Even though they investigated and persecuted me for 3.5 years, they found nothing wrong, and it cost me millions of dollars. But that's, thank you, Joe Biden. But he will. A lawyer can do anything. Smartest thing: waive extradition, come to the United States. He'll come to the Southern District, and I don't know how much evidence they have. They're either going to charge him with a complaint. And it is the federal court. I don't think he'll go out on bail. This isn't brag. These are these are real lawyers, real prosecutors, despite the fact that they might be Democrats or whatever. They're still real prosecutors.
Correct.
So they're not going to let him. I mean, this is the Southern District of New York is the office that I ran. It is without any doubt the best office for prosecuting fraud in the country. The best government office for prosecuting fraud in the country. Doesn't mean they win every case. But they don't lose many. And now the case against him looks very strong. So
I agree.
I don't know.
People are pissed.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be really interesting what happened. Are they going to try to crack him? I mean, the first guy we got was Boesky, and Boesky blew the whole thing up because he wanted to go to jail.
Right.
So will this guy blow it all up? I mean, that was
the Southern District of New York. Their attorneys that will be work in this case?
Well, the assistant U.S. attorneys will be the Southern District of New York, yes,
Mm.
which is a very good thing for the country because it's really the best office in the Justice Department for prosecuting fraud. Not that the others aren't good at everything else. So why is it the best? People think I say that because I was the U.S. attorney there and I'm very prejudiced. No, I don't. That's where you get the experience. Where else do you have that much fraud but in Wall Street?
Right. No, it's true. That's such
And
a
a lot of these
point.
kids, come from Wall Street firms.
Yeah.
So they have a leg up on, let's say, trying to prosecute the same thing in San Francisco or even California, where they have financial markets, but nothing of the size of NASDAQ or,
Mm.
I mean, financial fraud in New York City. You learn it the first day you're in the assistant U.S. attorney's office, whereas someplace else you might see one case every 6 months.
Mm.
Makes total sense.
So he's in a bad place.
Yeah, not in a good spot.
No, he's
No.
and he's in a spot where there'll be the least. I don't say they're completely immune because I've seen a few bad situations,
Mhm.
but but not with this U.S. attorney. So they're in a bad place for. I would not assume political influence. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right.
There are places in the United States with U.S. attorneys' offices and this particular attorney general where I think it'd be all political influence. Southern District, I'm not sure he'd mess with it. So
Yeah.
this guy could be in for a hard time, and he should.
How
be.
much time do you think?
I'd put him in jail forever.
Forever, right?
What he did to people is
Mhm. It's
outrageous.
awful. Yeah.
Outrageous.
Mhm.
Unless he's got
Mhm.
a tremendous amount of information that would help make these people whole.
So and then
If he
talk
can
about
make these
that.
people whole, in other words, make up for a lot of the damage he's done to them,
He can't do
then
that.
I could see a way
I
of
think
giving
it's too
him
much
some mercy.
So talk about that. This has ruined lives, and
Mhm.
Well, think of why he did
this
this.
isn't just something.
He took this money so
Right.
he could be a big shot in the Democratic Party. He took this money so he could donate as much money as Soros to the party. He took your money so he could be a big shot in the Democrat Party.
His parents are claiming they can't pay his legal fees.
Well, of course they can.
Sorry, I'm just reading on
This
this,
wasn't.
now.
This was a different kind of greed. It wasn't. He took the money so he could be a multi-billionaire.
Mm.
Very often, it's a different kind of greed for these crimes. People always remember in the movie Wall Street, which was about my prosecutions. They said that the bad guy said greed. They were wrong. Those cases were much more about pride.
Mm.
They were much more about I'm the best stock trader. I can do junk bonds. I can do genius bonds.
Mhm.
You give me your money, you're safe, you make millions, and then all of a sudden one goes wrong and you don't want to admit it.
Yes.
So you cheat instead of
Yeah.
then you figure, but then the next one I'll make up for it. And then you cheat again. And then you cheat again. And once we've
Mhm.
practiced to deceive, boom.
Listen, I do entertainment for a reason, guys. The
Yeah.
finance stuff, it blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. I'm yeah.
We just have a couple minutes left, Lauren. It's been such a pleasure having you on our audience.
I'm
our
having so
chat.
much fun.
They
This
see
is
all
so
the-
fun.
They see your energy. They see what you bring to the table, and so it's been a great honor. Where can people find out more?
You're gonna get your husband one of these.
Yes. Well, you can follow me on my
You're gonna
Instagram.
get your husband one of these.
Absolutely.
They live up in.
Oh, on Instagram at Lauren_interviews.
Are you on
Yes.
Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. My Twitter kind of sucks. I need to fix it a little bit, but
Twitter's
I'm
back again.
I know
cool
it's
to be
back.
on
It's
Twitter
back.
again.
I'm Conlin Lauren on Twitter, and then if anybody wants to get rated by the CCP, they can go on TikTok. And I'm just kidding. I'm on TikTok. I'm sorry, I am. However, I'm just saying, if you sign up for TikTok, they already have your information, so you might as well follow me anyway.
Yeah,
So Lauren Conlin 4 on TikTok.
So
2 minutes left.
these will be
Folks.
very good for New Hampshire for
Ooh, yes.
your husband. Very see how nice and warm they
These
are.
are pretty nice. You know what? I'm just gonna take a shoe off and
Yeah.
try it on.
Right. Aren't
Why
they
not?
nice?
Okay, and now let's do name the movie, because I know that you love this movie, but I'm gonna see if anyone else knows this
Okay.
quote from a movie. Ready?
Yeah.
Leave the gun, take the cannolis. Anybody? Are they? If they don't know this movie, Mayor will unfollow them. He will absolutely disown them.
You're giving us a hint.
He's giving a hint. I just said it. Leave the gun, take the cannolis. Thank you.
How about today? I was in front of the courthouse today. I was in front of the New York Supreme Court, and I yelled out to everybody there because they were taking pictures with me and stuff. I said, "Who knows who knows? Who can show me where Barzini was shot here? And they'll go, Barzini? Who got shot here? They thought it was somebody. Barzini, of course, was at the top of the steps, and he came rolling down. Boom.
He knows every line of him and Bernie Carrick, every line of The Godfather, every single line. It's creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah. It was Barzini.
All right, Mayor, we are down to under a minute. What's kind of your closing message on the start to the week with our very special guest this evening? Again, thank you so much, Lauren.
Of course.
My start to the week is start to think Christmas. Do some of your shopping. Get yourself into the spirit of it. It's not the happiest of times for America. We're going through a very difficult transition. We're having a difficult financial period, but it's still the greatest country in the world. You're very lucky people. My goodness, look at all those people trying to come in here illegally. I mean, a lot of them are coming in with fentanyl trying to kill us, but a lot of them are coming in here because they want a better place to live. And then we got these idiots who are attacking us every day. I mean, you just wonder, what are they attacking? Don't they see what's happening? You are in the greatest country on earth. You've got everything to celebrate. We'll get through this difficulty. We always do by getting together, being together, understanding our values. So we're going to be back tomorrow. Remember, say a little prayer when you get up tomorrow morning. Just say, thank you, God, that I'm in America. God bless America.
Hey,
thank you, Lauren.
I agree.
Lauren, I wanted to give you one more chance to also share any message for our viewers. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I'm just so happy to be here. I just hope everybody can follow me and hopefully enjoy my work, because my work is meant to be enjoyable, and it's meant to give people a little break from
You need that.
Yeah,
You need that. You
from
need that.
the tough times that we've got going on.
Gosh, if you can't have a sense of humor, you can't get through life. You can't.
Exactly.
Life is too tough to get through without
Let's
a sense
go
of humor.
smoke those cigars, and I won't
Right
throw
now,
up. Let's
right now.